Good morning. Catching me in all my morning crustiness, but I just had to. I couldn't wait. I just could not let this topic I want to address here quickly just pass by and go into float into the universe, and then I never end up addressing it. So in any respect, I had a conversation with a business partner of mine, and he shared with me that one of the first things he does when he wakes up in the morning is that he looks at his email before he really gets into his day. And look, that is like the biggest pet peeve of all time. Checking email, checking social media, in my mind, is one of the worst things you can do as an entrepreneur. And I'm going to tell you why. Because look, at the end of the day, if you're checking social media, if you're checking email, those are other people's agendas competing for your attention. The first thing you're doing when you wake up in the morning and you check email and social media first is you're giving your agenda over to the world. They are determining, quite frankly, what you think about. And what you think about, you bring about. Attention is like the sun, right? Whatever you shine it on tends to grow. Whatever you take sunlight away from tends to die, right? And so, look, that's the last thing you want to be doing. I'm not going to dictate. I don't believe in telling people this is what your routine should be and this is what you need to do in order to have success. No, because success doesn't work that way. The common denominator is hard work, right? And that's 99% of it. And then you have everything else stacked in between. So there's multiple ways to be successful, but there are some principles that I think all of us should be aware of. And one of those principles is don't let the world determine your agenda, right? I'm a firm believer that number one, the world does not, it does not reward people who are not grateful or thankful. It doesn't reward the envious, at least not long term. It doesn't reward people who just, wake up glass half empty every single day. You attract what you are. And if you're a negative person, you're going to attract negative. If you're a positive person, you're going to attract positive. So, one of the first things I encourage people to do is, have a gratitude journal. Write something down that's positive to start your day, right? Write down the things that you're thankful for. Some people pray, some people meditate on those things. Whatever that may be for you, do that, right? You need to be shaping your thoughts. You need to be curating your day and your future before you allow anyone else to do so. Take some time in the morning to do that. I had a conversation with a business owner earlier today who I just took on as a client. She owns a food truck business. She's getting ready to transition to a restaurant. So I'm helping her navigate that process. And, one of the first things she said this morning, she says, "JuJuan, you are a walk around lexicon. Like every time I bring a problem or issue, you have an answer or you point me in the right direction." And, I couldn't help but chuckle. But look, that's something I take a lot of pride in. As an entrepreneur, I just firmly believe the difference between entrepreneurs and everyone else is that we're problem solvers. That's how we're compensated. That's why we're compensated. We're compensated because of our ability to solve other people's problems, right? That's what, in my mind, that is at the heart of entrepreneurship. And in order to be better at solving other people's problems, in order to be able to see things first, you got to be learning, man. I don't care if it's podcasts, reading books, conversations, but you have to put yourself in front of the information so you can solve people's problems. That's what we're paid for, whether it be our services, our products, or even our guidance, right? And so I read 20 pages of a book a day, first thing in the morning. 20 pages. That means halfway through the month, I've read about 300 pages typically of a book. That's about 2 books a month. And then after I'm done reading throughout the day, if I have a moment of downtime, I'm listening to a podcast. I'm listening to something that will make me smarter, more informed, more able, more skilled, more talented than the previous person. Do that for yourself, right? Have some time. If you're a chef, spend some time understanding how to be very good as a chef. Study your competition, read a book, learn techniques. If you're a barber, same thing. If you're a stylist, same thing. If you're an accountant, same thing. An attorney, same thing. Real estate agent, same thing. Have some type of process in which you sharpen the saw. So you are more informed and more talented. If you're about this entrepreneurial life, you got to have that process. That should be part of your itinerary, not the email, not the social media. Those things come last. Because once again, that's the world competing for your time. That's the boss competing for your time. That's whoever trying to get you to buy something or tune in to something or watch something. 99% of it don't have anything to do with making you a better person. Those things are competing for your attention. You need to give your attention to you first. Success as an entrepreneur is an inside job, right? So doing something to sharpen the saw. Once again, I'm not about dictating what you should do. I'm a firm believer that leaders are readers. The uber majority of successful people, the uber majority, there's always exceptions, but the uber majority, 99.9% of them who are very, very, very successful, they are constant consumers of information, and their methodology of acquiring this information is going to involve reading. Okay. The last thing is, look, we give off a lot of energy. Like being an entrepreneur, we're kind of like batteries, right? We charge up, and those of us who leave it on the field, we leave it on the field. So oftentimes we expend ourselves every single day, right? We just hit the go button and we go. Look, man, you got to planks, sit-ups, take a walk, do some, I don't know, do some leg lifts, do some squats, do some push-ups, girl push-ups, man push-ups, do some jumping jacks, do something. Look, this body's got to carry you. This body's got to carry you. This body that you're a vessel in this body, or the body's a vessel and you're inside that vessel. You got to do something to get your body right. Everybody talks about spirituality. I get it. Everyone talks about psychology and personal coach and professional development. I just talked about that for the first part of this call. You got to do something for yourself physically. You got to have the energy to deal with the oncoming BS.com. Because let's be real, a lot of problems we solve as entrepreneurs is other people's BS.com. It is what it is. And you got to have the energy and the stamina to deal with that, because as an entrepreneur, we're also playing the long game. The bag is not the client. The bag is not the check. The bag is not the deposit. The bag is creating a system and creating relationships where those deposits happen on a systemic, consistent, predictable basis. It takes a lot of energy to build that, right? To build a system, to build the relationships, to build the infrastructure that can deal with the oncoming and liberate yourself from getting up every single day and having to grind to earn money, right? Or you do a different type of grind. You want to do a different type of grind, right? Catch my drift. You want to get to a point where your work is not determined by your physical labors, right? You want to graduate to leadership and being a CEO, creating environments of opportunity. So anyway, before I digress, I just wanted to share that. Look, drop the email, drop the social media. You got to let that stuff go. It is crushing you. It is allowing other people to determine your agenda. It's allowing other people to determine your modus operandi. It's allowing other people know the world has an agenda, and you might not like what that agenda is when you find out what it is, right? Where it's leading you. You want to be the agenda setter. You want to be the curator. You want to have as much control as possible. You can't control everything, but the things you can control, you want to control. You want to control your attitude. You want to control the setting of the sail. You don't want to be blowing wherever the wind blows. You want to set the sail. You want to determine your direction, determine your destination. These are some of the things you can do that. So drop the email, drop the social media, not first thing in the morning. Focus on what you want, the things that make you happy, give you satisfaction. Identify the things that are going to make you better, make you sharper, more able. Identify the ways in which you can be of greater service to others, and then deal with the world's agenda. So that's my 2 cents. First thing in the morning.